Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Now, I didn't do a show yesterday. I'm someone who gets bouts of pretty bad insomnia, and I've been on one for the last couple of weeks, and it culminated in me sleeping for about 36 hours all day yesterday and half of today as well. It just gets to the point where it knocks you out. But we're feeling a bit more alive today after that long ass sleep, and we've got our good friends now back on the show, Vintersea. Very much thanks as well to Mauro again for making a priority submission of these guys. I hope this band treat this guy well, because he's dipped into his pocket to get them on this show quite a few times now. So yeah, super dope. Give him a nice t-shirt or something like that. Right, what I thought we'd do as well is, just before we get into this one today, because we had no idea how many albums or anything these guys had in their last video, and then we realised it was one of their previous albums, I thought we'd just quickly look at their Metal Archives page so that we can see they've got 3 releases here. Started out in 2014 with an EP, then they got Gravity of Fall, which is what the track today is going to be off, and what the last time it was off as well. And then their new one is Illuminated, but that was in 2019, so I'm thinking these guys must be in the studio and about ready to drop a new album, which would be very cool. We'll get that on the show as well. Now, there is a difference in their sound going through these records. They seem to be getting more punchy and a bit more clarity as they go through, and a bit less washed out in the sound. And I think I prefer that. I think it suits their sound nicely. But after I made some comments last time, one of the members of the band did say to me that these guys do their own production and recording and mastering and all the rest of it as well, which is super dope. And that's why their sound's changing over the years as well, because you get better at it and you kind of figure out new techniques to get the sound through and all stuff like that. So I really love that they're doing that, and it's not just a studio, it's 2 different studio sounds. They've got a different sound because they're growing and evolving their sound, because they're doing their own mixes as well. It's super dope. Very, very cool. So let's check out this track today. This track is called The Host. It's got an official vid to it. Now, Mauro did say in his email to me, this one's got a bit of a nudity in it. No complaints from me, but if that's something that's going to trigger you or whatever, just a quick warning. So here we go. Let's check this one out. I love seeing bass strings like that. Looks so cool. Here we go. Nice reverb on the drums.
As we fade from the reckoning of time, waiting for the end, and we're waiting for the end, searching deep between these wings.
how they've built all that up. Nice sections, each section built up a bit more to the next. Comes in great with her guttural, adds a nice thickness and low end power to the sound. Cool video. Very cool. I enjoyed this one a lot. I like the composition of this track, particularly with that breaking it down and then building it up in sections. And as each section comes in, it's a bit more intense, it's a bit louder, it's got a bit more energy to it, and then building it back into the heavy music. Love that in music, in any kind of music, but it works well in this stuff as well. She's got a great melodic voice to, give a softness to the softer parts and then come in heavy and hard with the guttural as well. And what I particularly like about the vocal in this band and the way that this band's made up is they're not what I would call kind of typical stuff where they have a female vocalist in this way, where she does guttural, 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 singy, 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 and it's kind of like that, and they're just flipping between the two. One section's got gutturals, one section's singy, and I think that's played out, to be honest with you. And this band don't do that. They're not, they're not kind of working it in that way. She does gutturals and singy bits wherever the music suits it, and I thought she did it good in this one, using it on the more chilled sections because it gave it a softer edge at that point. But she's not just doing like a singy chorus or something like that. And I like that because I think, as I say, it's been played out the other way, and I don't know, it just doesn't inspire me very much, but I like the way she works her vocal in this, and she's got lots of tones. We know that already. It's not just gutturals or singing. She's got fries in there. She's got blackened fries, shouts and screams and all the rest of it. So she really's got the whole gambit as far as vocal techniques go. But I do really like that it's not just guttural, 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 singy, 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 been played out. Anyway, very, very cool band this. I'd like to hear more of their newer stuff, if I'm honest now, because I like the sound on this album. I like it's got more of an atmosphere, more of a reverby, washy sound. You could hear all the effects on her vocals there at the end, delays and reverbs and stuff. And I think it's got a good sound, but I do think that their newer stuff has got more of a punch, more of a kick to it. and when the guttural comes in as well, it just really hits you harder. And I just like to be slapped around by the music, so that's why I prefer it. So if you're going to make any more submissions, hopefully we can get some newer tracks as well, because I'm much more interested in hearing those. But if these guys have got any brand new tracks on the way out, we'd love to hear those as well, and hear how the band's evolved in that way, because their sound has changed from each record, as we said. I'm pretty sure they're still doing their own production, and from 2019, no doubt they'll have got a lot better and figured out new techniques and bought new VSTs that make them sound cool and this and that, and getting a different kind of mix and a different sound for their new album, which I'm really interested to hear, because I love to hear the progression and evolution of bands, especially when they're doing it all themselves. You know, they've not just gone to a studio and he's done it for them, and it sounds like that because that's how that mixer mixes. When you're doing it yourselves, especially as a band as well, and you know, everyone has an input and goes, oh man, I'd love the drums to be punchier on this bit, or want my guitar riff to come in heavier there, and you can really just get a personalized album. And I just think that's so cool that you haven't just paid someone else to do it. You've done the whole thing yourself from start to finish, from writing the songs all the way through to recording and then mixing and mastering. It's so dope. So yeah, I'm interested to hear the brand new stuff as well. Can't wait to see how that's going to turn out. Very, very cool. Thanks guys, hope you're having a good week, and we'll see you over the weekend for some more cool bands. See ya. Bye.